Welcome to our live. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yes, Temilade. Can't see my TikTok. Thank you for joining us. I just want to set up this on WhatsApp, on TikTok, so that others can join there. Sorry about that. Hello. Welcome to our program tonight. As we go on a journey, thank you. Hello, Temilade. Wait, I'm bringing you up now. Welcome. Okay, you're also on YouTube. Thank you. As you join us, just click the like button and let us wait for a few minutes for others to join. Hello, Temilade. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How was your day too?
It was as hectic. It was as hectic as it can be.
We are finally here, the long-awaited webinar.
The long-awaited day.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. Hello there. Show us some love. Click the like button. Share the live so we can have more of us. The more, the merrier. Hello, Chai. Welcome to the webinar. Welcome. As you join us, click the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I am a Nigerian, if that's what you want to know. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Temilade, I will share this with you. At some point, you're going to be giving it to people, okay? Are you there?
I'm here. What did you say, ma?
I will share with you something so you can use it. It's our link at some point.
Oh, all right.
Chai. Ashia Kaki, good to see you. Welcome to the program. Rima Mori. Welcome, everyone. We will just wait a few minutes for others to join us. We will just wait a few minutes so we can get more people to join us, okay? Hello, Vinayak Dev Mishra. Elvania, thank you. That's so kind of you. Like our program so we can get more encouragement. Patrick Speech, Autism Center, The Wellness Buzz, Food Store Nigeria. Thank you all for joining me tonight. So tonight we are discussing nutritional management of children with autism. Not just autism, neurological, developmental impairments. J and J Special, thank you for joining us. We are glad you're here. Thank you. We are just taking a while to welcome more people on board so that we can move on with this. But tonight we are going to break down functional nutrition for neurodivergent children. We call it functional because it's a method that doesn't just look at symptoms. They look at root cause. Junior Nzama, thank you for joining us. Our approach looks at root cause, help children to live better, healthier, more productive life. When families are faced with these challenges, yes, Vinayak, yes, I am. Thank you, Ashia. Subscribe, like the channel, and stay with me, for we have so much to offer this night. Thank you all for joining us. Junior Zama, thank you. Lee Thomas, thank you, Lee. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. We are about to begin. We will just, it's already 9 minutes. As soon as it's 10 minutes past 9, we will go into the program of the night. If you're here, just share the live so that others who may not have remembered would join. Hold your screen, just touch your screen, and you will see send by the left. Send it to people who are not here. All of other of your contacts. Spread the word, for we are about to start. And what we are offering might change the life of someone forever. There are things that you will not find on ChatGPT or Google. They are as a result of years, decades of studies, and over a decade of experience. They don't come on Google or ChatGPT. They come from experience and rigorous studies and research. Ika, Ika, good to hear from you. Thank you, Chai. Oh, Vinayak, that's good to know. Oladuni Isiaka, welcome to the live. Click the like button, share the live, because there are people who would want to be here but are probably not here yet. Junior Zama, thank you for joining us. Sile, thank you. Thank you for showing up tonight. So this night is not our usual, random talk. Today we are looking at a very important discourse. And like I said, this is a very, experience-led discussion, in the sense that these are not things you just get in any way or anyhow. You get it because it's a lived experience, and it is also coming from many, many years of studies and experience. As an introduction, my name is Ijoma. I am a public health nutritionist. I am fully qualified public health practitioner, and I'm a fully qualified human nutritionist. I am also a fully qualified food technologist. So when I am speaking from all angles, looking for ways to support in something. So, like I was saying, I'm a public health nutritionist. I am a public health practitioner. I'm a human nutritionist. And for the past 10 years and more, I have been supporting children with neurodevelopmental challenges. So all these years of experience, all these years of studies is what we are going to pour out on this webinar tonight. So how do we even approach this case? First of all, I should say that a lot of people still are struggling to find the connection between mental health and nutrition. But my joy is that from over 10 years ago when I started, more people have come to understand the importance of nutrition in mental health. More so with younger children with neurodevelopmental challenges. What are these neurodevelopmental challenges? We have challenges like autism. We have challenges like ADHD. We have challenges like cerebral palsy, Down syndrome. We have many other challenges, intellectual disability. Many times this can occur as one, but in fact, most times these are occurring as comorbidities. And when they occur as comorbidities, it is very important to recognize what you are looking at or what you are treating. On so many occasions, you can hardly get one child that has just one. A child could have autism, and then as the year progresses, they can change into ADHD. A child could have a cerebral palsy and still have autism. A child could have Down syndrome and still have autism. And a child could just have only Down syndrome and probably intellectual disability. So a lot of times, a lot of people misunderstand your one from the other. But do you know what is very peculiar about what we offer? What is peculiar about what we offer is that it is good for everyone. Every human on earth would benefit from proper nutrition. Nutrition is something that enhances functionality, both physically and mentally, when you do it right. When done right, there is no one that says, I cannot benefit from nutrition. That is why I am very passionate about what I do, because you are basically what you eat. So by the time you begin to look at, even if your child is neurotypical, even if your child has no challenge, we have been to schools where we realize that even children with no diagnosis are finding it very difficult to sit still in class. This became so profound that at some point, some of the schools we had association with, because they noticed that after lunch, when children are having their snacks, after the snacks, they are unmanageable. They cannot manage them anymore in class. So many of the schools, they started refusing that the children should eat their snacks at school. So when children come to school, they will send them home with their snack. They eat it in the car and let them jump anyhow they want to jump in their mother's car. So when it became obvious that this was not a comfortable approach, discussions were made and the parents were mandated to stop giving their children certain types of snacks. So this is a story that will make you understand how impactful nutrition is. Ma'am, I'm trying to invite you. I don't know why it's not coming up. This is something that make you understand that nutrition is very, very impactful. Imagine a child who cannot sit still in class. Think about productivity. Think about learning. Think about what all of this is going to affect the child. If you are not learning what your age is learning, the most likely outcome is that you will be developing lower than your age is developing. We have taken care of many children that you realize that their biggest hindrance to learning is hyperactivity. So this is what we have looked, and then we realize that a lot of parents are taking it from the sky up without coming down on the base. So what we are looking at is a kind of guide where you will find that before you can do anything in a child, there are basic things you have to cover. Basic things like their gut health, basic things like their environment. What are the kind of things that are going into their body every day? Basic things like the basics of health, which is like the gut integrity, the balance of microbiome. So how secure is their gut area? How balanced is the microorganisms that are inside their body? These are the basic things that a child needs to take care of. Unfortunately for us in our age, these do not come from home and environment anymore. Because someone may just get up and ask, how is it that it was not happening to those of them in the olden days? In the olden days, yes, Harika, I remember you. In the olden days, these things are normally just present in the environment, in the sense that a child could go outside and play in the sand and eat stuff. I remember when we were growing up, we just enter a farm, we collect this garden egg leaf and put pepper inside. No washing, no spraying, no anything. You eat it. In that instance, you are repopulating your microbiome. You are increasing the balance of your microbiome. But tell me, how many of you here has your child ever gone outside to pick something and eat and you did not shout? And then we go on and on, we sanitize everything, we disinfect everything, and at the end of the day, children do not get anything from the environment in terms of microorganisms. And don't forget, these microorganisms are actually their defense, because they go there, the body will see it as an enemy and will produce the kind of army that will fight it. And when this happens, the next time the body sees it, it already has the antibodies, it already has the army, so it will not be sick anymore. So at the end of the day, we are saying, how are you prepared to take up the health of your child from the roots? Not just that you saw that this is a balanced diet, everybody's conscious about balanced diet, but look, there are things that are beyond. In fact, nutrition has gone beyond balanced diet. Now we are talking about personalized nutrition, gut health. These are the things we are talking about, and those are the things that will help you and your young ones. Igwe Josephine, thank you. Hello. Thank you, Vinayak. So we are looking at approaches that will help parents to harness the basics of health. That will not just mean looking at balanced diet, and even as much as you try, even me like this, I'm a nutritionist, but it's still very difficult to maintain a balanced diet. It's a very difficult thing to do, to be honest. And then we are also looking at, there's no parent that has a child with a neurological condition of up to 2-3 years that have never heard anything about biomedical intervention. Biomedical intervention is simply trying to restore the internal system of your child using natural and easily available biological components. Actually, a lot of parents are getting better results using biomedical than just using, chemical-based interventions. So we are in a position to guide you to find out What are those biomedical approaches you can use to support your special child? There are well curated, scientifically supported biomedical approaches that can help these children to live better, productive, focused, calmer lives that a lot of parents may not know or may know, but there are other things that might hinder you. So there's also the question of allergy. A lot of children that has special needs have allergies. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people also think that allergy is a fad. That people say they are allergic to something just to feel posh. Forgive me, but that's not true. People are seriously and genuinely allergic to stuff. But when it comes to children with neurodevelopmental challenges, we have other reasons to believe that their allergies are not like real allergies. They may be allergic to foods, but in the real sense, there are basic things that can be done for you to, restore their body system and they will lose that allergy. Also, for these children, there are supposedly allergic reactions that occur in them that are not, you cannot compromise it because based on their biological makeup, they have certain deficiencies that are making it impossible for them to break down certain food components. And in that case, it might not look like allergy, but they don't feel comfortable consuming certain foods. So when we are looking at food, for instance, we look at a child's diagnosis and then we will find out what are those things that might be inherently deficient in that child that would not warrant the child to consume certain foods. These are things that as a parent, as a professional, makes a lot of difference to how you manage and care for your child with neurological impairment. Now, you are also going to look at the food the child is eating. Because by the time you arrive at the food, eventually, it's almost impossible to keep away from packaged food these days. I know a lot of parents that say, yes, we have come a long way, try not to eat packaged food, but it's very difficult. Once in a while, it has to come. You may have to travel, you may have to be in a position where you cannot cook. A lot of things can come up that will make it difficult for you to always have your food from raw ingredients. But now the challenge is, how do we know what to put? How do we know what is safe? How do we know how to, navigate through the thousands of food on the market, on the shelf? Now I'm talking like a food technologist. As a food technologist, I know that there are basically 3 ways you can preserve food. You can either preserve it by reducing the moisture content, or you can preserve it by adding chemical, or you can also preserve it by, packaging to remove, arrest the functionality of the microorganisms. And you can do this by freezing. So reducing the temperature to stop the action of microorganisms. So these are ways you can use to save your food from spoiling. So for our children, and most importantly for producers, they would rather do the ones that is safe and that will make the food shelf stable. So the one that will make the food shelf stable sometimes is very expensive. So if you are reducing the temperature or reducing the moisture content, you are going to use energy to do all of those things, and energy is not cheap. So most times, as much as possible, they will prefer to add chemical. Thank you, Sylvia. And as a parent who is conscious of what goes into your child, how are you able to identify the clean chemicals, the chemicals that are harmful or beneficial to your child? So you are going to need a little bit of, insight into how to read your food label, how to make the right choices when you are shopping, what and what is good for your child. If you go for event and they say this is it, you can even request for the packaging. Let me see what is in this food. Please, if you're here, like the program, click the like button, share it to people who you think might benefit, because I am seeing that we have people, but more people can actually benefit from what we are offering tonight. So if you are a parent that is conscious of what your child is eating, you would want to find out how to read labels. There are codes. Some labels don't carry the names outrightly, they just carry code. So how do you know which code represents what? So at the end of the day, we are in a position to help you to learn how to be reading the codes in your food. You go to shopping, grocery shopping. Don't just pack food into your basket because you like the way they look. Take time and read the label. And we are saying, learn to know what to read, learn to know what you are looking for, learn to find out what is good and what is not. Ella, thank you so much. Thank you. So this is like, it's going to be an eye opener, that you will learn what the labels represent and how to read them. What are the codes? What do they offer you? How safe is this food? I know many times after consultation with parents, what I see is they will be sending you the different kinds of food their child is eating, and you will feel like, oh my God, this shouldn't even come close to this child in the first place. And sometimes the child would have been eating it for months, even for years. So it's like shooting yourself on the leg, that you know all the good food to eat, but you can't identify them chemically when they are in your food, in your child's food on the shelf. So this is something you need to understand and know how to read them. And there is also special diets for neurodivergent children. We have realized over the years that when we do tests for some children, there are specific things in their system that are basic to them. That is why we practice specialized nutrition. Every child we take on a journey of medical tests, we realize that that child is unique and special in terms of the physiological makeup. We see some children inborn errors of metabolism, meaning that that is the way they are born. There's nothing you can do about it, that they cannot digest certain types of chemicals in the food. Sylvia, thank you, thank you. So what we do in that situation is that we will take that medical test and collect everything that child can or cannot eat based on their medical test, and then we use it to draw a health plan. Health plan, I don't call it meal plan, because it will involve both those that can be covered by food and those that can be covered by supplements and those that can be covered by environmental changes. So you are not just looking at, Ella, thank you. You are not just looking at the food the child is eating, you are looking at everything that concerns that child. And that is why it is important that as a parent, as a carer, as even you can be a therapist, but you meet a parent that has no clue. You can even begin to offer your own, insight. It will help every child that you are taking care of. If you are a therapist and you know these things, you will be the one to guide the parents on the right way. And believe me, if you were going to guide a child for 7 years, you will guide that child for less. And I mean, word of mouth spreads like fire. Everybody will be, oh my God, this lady, after taking care of my child can interact, my child, it's a kudos to you. So if you are a therapist, if you're a mother or parent or school owner or healthcare professional, these are the important things you need to know in order to improve your care, in order to enhance your care, in order to offer parents a hope. Because what I know is that a lot of times when parents are approaching healthcare professionals, they are very hopeless. They are very, it's as if they have given up already even before going to look, because I must tell you from experience, it's not an easy job. It's not easy, and it's not for the faint-hearted. So if you are in a position to offer that help, it will be very important that you offer it in a holistic way, in a way that would make a significant impact on the child you are supporting. And now you are looking at, that is about special diet. We also see that some children can be very hyperactive. So when children are hyperactive, we know that there are certain foods that make children hyperactive. We know that there are certain foods that can calm a child. We also look at certain environmental things like, maybe toxicants in the air, maybe, we look at everything that concerns the child, and we map out a good diet that would match the child's, needs. So what might be good for one child may not be good for another child. Remember, this is different from allergy diet. Allergy diet is different from spatial diet. So as a therapist, as a parent, as a carer, you should be able to identify all that your child needs and identify the kind of food items, food classes, food combinations that you are going to use to support your child. And now we are also looking at support, insight into laboratory assessment. That one is a very big one, because we talk about do tests for your child. But at the end of the day, we realize that a lot of parents would have these big tests in their hands, but they can't even read it. They don't even understand what the test is talking about. You should be able to know the basics of what your child's tests need. At least for children with neurological impairments, we already know certain types of tests that they need. It doesn't mean if you want to go further, you won't go further, but we have the basic ones. We have things like food allergy, we have things like organic acid, we have things like heavy metal toxicity, we have things like omega-3, vitamin D, cholesterol. We have things like stool analysis. So these are the simple tests that your child should have. Now you have done this test. Do you know what they are saying? You may not know. But even if you know what they are saying, are you able to relate them to what is happening to your child? So we are in a good position to help you to be able to decipher the meanings of the test you have in your hands. A lot of parents have tests in their hand, but they don't know what it means. You can go to a doctor or your child pediatrician and they ask you, what can we do? Sometimes they ask you to do the same test again. You go and do it. I know a parent sent me some tests that 5 times they have done the same test, just because they don't know what they have in their hand. They go to another practitioner, and that practitioner will tell them, we have to do this test. This parent did not know that they have done the same test in another place. But if you, as a parent, you know how to interpret tests, nobody will do this to you. You will be able to understand what a particular test means and what a particular test it refers to. So there, it is important that you get to know what a test, in fact, first of all, you get to know what test your child needs. And then when that test is there, you should know what that test is saying. And you should know how to relate it to your child. We are not saying you should become a doctor. But even when you are talking with a doctor, you should be able to have insights about what the doctor is saying. You have a very productive and insightful discussion. Even the doctor man will be, in fact, he has to go and check his books before he tells you anything, because he will know that you know what you know. And this can be very helpful, because in our bid to get our children better, a lot of people have actually been deceived and run into things that they shouldn't be, spending. So we are in a good position to teach you how to do the test, how to read the test, how to interpret the test, and how to use the test. And there is also the aspect of nutrient diversity. Nutrient diversity is helping the child to eat as many types of food as they can, but there is also an aspect of that where we are looking at other kinds of support that children with neurodevelopmental challenges can have. These supports are like emerging support. They are not fully mainstream, but research is showing that a lot of children are getting relief from it. Please, once again, like the live, like it, share it, and comment. Tell us what you feel so far. We'll be happy to know. Ella C, thank you so much. Thank you everyone who has been supportive so far. Like it, share it to other parents, share it to other specialists, practitioners, everyone who you think might need it, because the best is yet to come. So when we talk about regenerative intervention, we have interventions that are using what your child carries in them to help them. We are looking at, science is already looking at the saying that you carry your own kit, your own healing kit inside you. So these regenerative approaches to healthcare is already coming to a lot of conditions that were otherwise thought to be incurable. People are finding help, people are finding support, people are finding relief. I don't know what it will feel like you for a parent with a neurodivergent child, that you see your child being able to interact, communicate, and be themselves, make friends, reduce the pressure on you. Yes, a lot of people are saying we don't want to change them from what they are. Look, these regenerative approaches are not changing your children. They are merely enhancing their potentials. They are helping them to discover themselves better. Now, for instance, a child who is hurting themselves, how is that a pleasant thing? It is not. So if you can have anything done to that child that will help the child to understand the impact of hurting oneself, to have the concept of pain, to have the concept of understanding themselves, does that change who the child is? No, it doesn't. You are merely helping that child to live a less painful life, an enhanced potential, and a more, joyful life. For instance, such children, many children on the autism spectrum end up being very miserable. Even if it is not miserable because of themselves, as they continue to grow, they continue to yearn for interaction, they continue to yearn for relationship, they continue to want to feel like every other child is feeling. But because of their social challenges, they may not be able to do what they want to do. So okay, Rick, we will talk about that in a bit. So we are saying, would you want to offer your child a chance to explore the chances of being themselves, being happier, being more productive, being more, resilient, more receptive to the environment? We are not saying you are changing the child. So there are these options which our establishment, Brain Foods, is in a good position to guide you. We will guide you through the process until you get to the intervention. So the point we are saying is that tonight we are presenting to you a very important and well-researched, professional-led educational package. In this course, you are going to look at everything we have talked about. You will learn the foundation of functional nutrition. You will also learn the foundation of biomedical intervention in neurological impairments. And you are also going to learn how to navigate allergen-free nutrition. How do you identify allergies? How do you even know if it is real allergies? How can you reflect a child's allergy in the kind of food they eat. Wherever you are, support us, like, share, and comment on this post. Share it to people who you may want them to be here. So in this course, you are going to also look at how to read food labels. We call them food coding. In food coding, you see food labels that just say E24, E45. How do you even know what that is? You may just buy this and put it in your child's food, not knowing you're already harming the child. And then in this course, you are going to learn nutritional supplementation. You will learn what kind of supplements that your child might have and the one he might not have. There are certain supplements that when you give to children with neurological impairments, you are hurting them, no matter how wonderfully made they are. Because their body system is not equipped to utilize such nutrients. And not just that, you might be in a position that you are blocking the absorption side of the right nutrients when they come. There are certain supplements that if you give your child, every other person may like it too and be happy about it. Because in my country now, there's a certain supplement that when I see people taking it, I puke. But it's a very popular one. In fact, once you talk about supplements, everybody will tell you that supplement. But I will not take that supplement even if you dash me. And that is because of the things that one already knows about such supplements, such fillers, and such combinations. So you are going to learn how to guide your child's body, support their body using supplements, and you are also going to learn special diets for neurodivergence, and you will have insights into laboratory test interpretation. Then at the end of it, you're going to get all the support you need, both nutritionally and in regenerative medicine, all the support you need to enhance your child's potentials. These are going to be given to you, and you also have the capacity to be able to draw your own child's health plan. By the end of this course, you should be able to create a plan for your own child. Using all the knowledge you have, you should be able to support your child, or if you're a therapist, you should be able to support the children you are supporting using nutritional and functional and using holistic nutrition approach. And believe me, these are not things you pick by Googling. These are not things you just catch in the air. Everything is AI these days, but there are things that experience will still give you. Even sometimes you Google, the AI will still tell you that at the end of the day, you still require human, touch. You still need human input to be able to navigate through this. So this night we have put together a program that we are going to start by the first week of October for all teachers, parents, carers, therapists, healthcare professionals, everyone that is in a position to support children with neurodevelopmental challenges is encouraged to start this course. It's going to be a face-to-face lecture. It's not one recorded video or recorded slides that you just go read and go. No, there's going to be face-to-face lecture. You are going to get assessments done. You are going to get quizzes that will help to reinforce all you are going to learn. So I would, Temilade, you can share the link. Anyone? Yes, plane 194. I will urge you to register for this course because due to the face-to-face nature of it, we are not going to take many parents at a time. We want to be doing it as a coaching program, so that people will be able to focus and learn as much as they can. Because ever since I started this journey of supporting neurodivergent people, what I've understood is that It is not about number, it's about impact. I have seen people tell me, why don't you do another thing? There are not so many people doing this thing. But I say, do you know, even if it's one family that is impacted, it gives me joy because I know exactly what it means. I know what it means that a child can call their mother mother. I know what it means that a child can come to class and sit down and learn. I know what it means that a child can go and ease himself in the restroom without a support. I know what it means. For typical people, it may not mean a thing to you, but to us, we know what it means. So tonight we are saying, if you think that all we have said here are things you want to use to equip yourself to be able to support your child from the root to the top and offer them a better chance to life, please, Temilade, you can put that on the YouTube too.
Yes, I've
Please.
done that. I've dropped it.
Okay. So please avail yourself of this opportunity. It's going to be experience packed, science backed. I don't know how best again it can be. As I said before in the beginning, I'm a public health nutritionist and I've supported neurodivergent children for 13 years now. Because when we say over a decade, it just looks like, okay, you're just 10 years yesterday and you're shouting over a decade. Anyway, a decade is not even a small time. So if you are very passionate about who you are supporting, who you are caring for, I would urge you to join me on this journey. I'm going to lay my heart, pour it all, everything I have in me. You are going to get it. I've been studying nutrition for 24 years. I've been studying nutrition. I have 3 master's degree and I have a bachelor degree that I did for 5 years. So if I am talking, I have the authority, I know what I'm saying, and you don't have to go and study nutrition for 20 years for you to know all the things I'm going to give you. So join me on this journey and let us make these children better children. Let us escalate their potentials, offer them the latest scientific approaches to healthcare that would help them to thrive and be better children for better future. Please, if anyone has a question, the floor is open. You can ask me and I'll be ready to answer for the next 15 minutes. Yes. Yeah, 48. We'll be stopping at an hour. If anyone has a question, I'm ready. Okay. Well, I believe there may not be questions coming, but just in case you need to clarify before you get committed, I am very much available either here, either TikTok, either YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you are. We are always Brain Foods. Brain Foods number 4 gods on Instagram. In TikTok, we are Brain Foods UK. On YouTube, we are Brain Food for Gods, FOR Gods. J&J Special Needs Services. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I do appreciate you were here from beginning and you are all the way down here.
Sorry to cut you short. There are a few questions on YouTube. Should I read them out here?
Yes, please.
Someone asked that, how do I make a neurodivergent child sit still?
Okay.
Then another person asked that he suspects his girlfriend has such condition, that what can he do?
Okay. A neurodivergent child sitting still can be, not sitting still can be as a result of many things. We have seen children who are hyperactive because they are somehow overladen with yeast overgrowth. So they become hyperactive when they eat certain types of food. There are also children who are hyperactive because they are restless. Restlessness can come from a child not sleeping well at night. So, and not sleeping well at night can also be as a result of many conditions. And even having yeast overgrowth can be as a result of many conditions. So, what we do on a very basic approach on our practice is that we would always start with basic steps which is tolerable to everyone, but then a step that we would never miss is having a medical test done. When you have a medical test done on your child, you will be so shocked at the level of revelation you will see. You will see that every one of us is unique in our makeup. I have had children do medical tests that the child is always crying, which was a part of not sitting still in class. When he's going to school, he's crying. When he's in class, he's crying. When he's coming home from school, he's crying. And do you know what we found out? We found out that his gut was, he had very low microbial population. There was a very bad gut dysbiosis. And the connection between this is that he has also very low B vitamins, because it is the gut microbiome that synthesizes B vitamins. And it is B vitamins that are precursors to dopamine and the hormones that help, that we call happy hormones. So as soon as we identified these conditions, we started working on it. And guess what? The young man is very happy. The parents reported that, look, their child is now, he doesn't cry. That at some point they started feeling that maybe there's something they do to him in school that he was not able to say, that he was just sad. Mind you, this is not the only thing we saw, but that was something that stood out. So it's not as if we just started repopulating microbiome and the child got up from nowhere. No, it's a holistic approach to everything. So, but the point I'm making is that when a child is hyperactive, it can be from different, conditions. A lot of things might be going on in the child, which you will only be able to put a hand on when you have a test done. And talking about this test now, I know a lot of parents that will go to their GP after they have finished speaking with me. They will go to GP and GP will order them blood tests. The test we are looking at is not blood test. It's not whole count, blood count. It's not a white blood cell and red blood cell. They are more specific and tests that are more explicit, that will find out a lot of things that are far, far beyond whether you have a white blood cell count or red blood cell count. So when we are talking about about tests, this is also still something you might be needing support to identify, to read it, and to interpret it and be able to apply it. So thank you for that question. The answer is not laid on a stone. You may have to find out through a medical test why this child is not able to sit still. And Rick, you said you suspect your girlfriend is neurodivergent. What should I do? Most times, as long as it's an adult, and ADHD is something that a lot of people on ADHD can actually comprehend, their environment. So what we do is, just like I said, you might still have to do a little bit of test. So in that test, you may find out what your girlfriend might be lacking. Sometimes a lot of children do well by just adjusting their nutritional composition. You will see some children having either maybe too much copper, too much zinc, little magnesium, too much molybdenum, a lot of oxalates. And just by adjusting those things to balance them, you see a child thriving. Sometimes it's even an inflammation in the gut. Sometimes, it could be anything, but the interesting part is that every person is different. What might heal one person might actually buy another person. and it's so strange, it's so intriguing that every time you perform a medical test, your mind blows because of what you see, and it is never like the other. So, and that is why in this course we are going to teach you how to identify what you see in those tests, how
Sorry
to
to
use them.
interrupt you, ma.
Yes,
Can you hear me, ma?
yes,
I've tried severally to drop the link on YouTube, but
yes.
it keeps clearing off. I don't know why.
Okay, maybe you
I've
leave
done
it.
that from my end. Yeah.
I think maybe it's a rule. Maybe it doesn't go. I don't know. Oh, even on TikTok, I think they may frown at it, but I don't know. It's a life stuff. Okay, but yeah, that's about some answers to the question. If there are more, you can always find me. Like I said, you can always find me on any of the platform. Brain Foods for Gods. On LinkedIn, it's just me. It's just Ijoma. You can find me, reach out, ask questions. Even if you're not doing the course, I am always there. What are the... Please, I don't understand. What are the... Okay, price. Is that what you mean? I don't know if that's what you mean. But yes, thanks everyone. It's been a wonderful 1 hour with you. And I really appreciate that you spent this time with me. I am ready to... Yeah. Junior Zama, you said, what are the possible causes for uncontrollable laughter? Uncontrollable laughter, a lot of times, might be Baiswa. Okay, let's answer Junior first. Uncontrollable laughter could be as a result of two things. Sometimes the children are laughing because maybe something that happened a long time ago, because their neurological system is slow. Sometimes if something, that's why people say they have no concept of fun or concept of fear, because it takes a while to connect. So a child may have an experience now, but it is towards tomorrow morning or in the night or evening, maybe around 3 hours later or 4 hours later, that it will occur to them what that experience meant. Let's say that a child is crying in the evening. It might not be what happened that evening, it might be what happened in school. So sometimes they are laughing because of what might have happened earlier, not when that thing is happening. That is one cause. Another cause can be as a result of what is going on in their tummy. This is because certain foods are basically just producing alcohol in their body with the presence of certain compounds. So if your child has a lot of maybe yeast and you keep feeding him complex carbohydrates, what it might cause is that the yeast is feeding on the complex carbohydrates and continuously producing alcohol, methane, all the chemicals that are coming from a fermentation process. And you see your child jumping, laughing, wouldn't sit still in the sitting room. Instead of on the seat, they sit on the back of the chair. They are everywhere, scattering and continuously laughing. So this is what I say, that those two things, it could be any of them, but still you never can tell until there is a test done. It can also be a certain chemical that is being produced in excess or that is not being produced enough. So when your son keeps forgetting and he's 11 years, does it mean he has some maybe intellectual disability? I am not giving any child a label online because I don't know him. I don't have his diagnosis. But what we are saying is that if he keeps forgetting, there has to be a reason. There has to be If you want, you can go and have an assessment done. If you don't want to do assessment, you can at least have maybe a medical test done to identify the things that might not be, going on well in his body. So I don't know the kind of forgetting. Is it that when he learns in school he doesn't remember it, or that you send him on an errand and he doesn't remember it? He could have a diagnosis, or through a good medical test, one can identify any of the things that might be needed to adjust to give him, a good memory. And remember, there are also foods that enhance memory. There are also foods that help to restore. You can look at anti-inflammatory foods, you can look at antioxidant foods. Those are all the kinds of food that helps the brain in so many aspects, because the brain is almost 60% of fat. So when you are giving a child good fat sources, you are helping their brain. So what these are the kind of interventions you can already start doing even before you do the medical test. And by the way, there are also some cases where if a child's brain is not, functioning very well, we also see some other connected things in their physical that might suggest that maybe the child has a form of mitochondrial dysfunction, meaning that their cells are not converting things properly to the right energy that the brain and the body might need. So these are some of the things that might be hindering a child's mental capacity. So a child's mental capacity can be as a result of something not functioning well, or the energy not shorting very well. Like the energy, the ATP is what the cells need to work with. And some children, in fact, many children on the spectrum are not efficiently converting the food they eat to energy. And yes, there are also support for that, either through regenerative medicine or even supplements or even food plans. Now, somebody said, is air fryer healthy for neurodivergent children? I have a video on my YouTube that is saying forever chemicals. Okay, what did I say? It's about sleep. That video said something about sleep. I'm not sure what it is anymore, but I talked about these chemicals there. What we call forever chemicals is the kind of chemicals they use to coat all those non-stick pans and even your air fryer. So why do they call it forever chemicals? They call it forever chemicals because when they enter the body, they don't leave. Imagine if they say it doesn't live in a healthy body. So what will happen in a body of a neurodivergent child? When we know that in neurodivergent children, there is a possibility of the body finding it very difficult to detoxify. A lot of neurodivergent children are not easily able to detoxify chemicals from their body. So if you are busy feeding a neurodivergent child a chemical that is known as forever chemical, imagine what it's going to be doing in their body. So what I am saying here is that air fryer has a forever chemical in it because they are non-stick, right? They are non-stick, so they have the forever chemical as it is called. Now you know what forever chemical is. Now you know what it can do to the body of a neurodivergent child. Make your choice. Think about it and make your choice. Okay, Buyiswa. Yes, you might just have to support the brain health. You might need to support the brain health. You can do the basics, which is supplying lots of omega-3. There are, very important nutrients that you can actually use for the brain that is not just omega-3. You can support him with brain promoting kind of foods and supplements and see how it goes. There are also cases of things going on in the brain that people may not know that might be blocking one side of the brain. There could be inflammations, there could be imbalances, many things can be happening. But at present, you have to look at many nutrients that support brain health. Things like berries, things like omega-3, things like salmon, fish. Try and add those to his diet, and you might still need to, supplement or do a proper assessment. And then, how do I manage severe bruxism? Did you get it right, or was there a typo? But what I know is that for you to manage any situation, you have to assess it. There has to be an assessment. My years of experience has taught me that you cannot just sit down and start recommending things. You just have to do an assessment, because there was a condition, there was a test we had on a child. Please like the program, share it, and comment, subscribe, whatever you need to do, just interact. There was a condition where we, after doing assessment, that acting forever. Okay, I don't know. So what happened in that test is that we realized that this child has an inborn error of metabolism for, now listen to this by Iswa. Listen to what I'm saying now. This child had an inborn error of metabolism for certain types of amino acids. Meanwhile, on a very good day, you would usually recommend, okay, add more protein, reduce the complex carbohydrates, add healthy fats and all of that. That would be like, your initial reaction to when people are seeking for dietary intervention. But we realize that this child has a chemical imbalance, which is as a result of inborn error of metabolism, which means that just that's the way he was born, that his body cannot process this chemical. And do you know that the more this chemical is increasing in his body, the more the child is developing intellectual disability? So in that case, if you are a parent, if you continue packing, let's give this with a lot of meat, a lot of fish, a lot of beans, you are actually damaging your child. That's why I'm asking you, by Iswa, please, you have to do an assessment. Because this particular parent, if they did not invest in that medical test, they would be damaging that child. And now the child might be growing and growing and getting more and more intellectually disabled. And then you sit down and say, I am giving balanced diet. And then you as a parent, you'll be frustrated. You're like, I am doing everything right. So why is this getting worse? So the point we are making is that you have to, please, the first step is to have an assessment done. Your assessment is like your GPS, is like your navigator. It helps you to know where you are going, where to turn, when to do reverse, how to do right turn or left turn in your child's health. If you don't know these things, you can just put head in the forest and get lost. So please, by Isua, I think the first thing you have to do is have an assessment done before you even go. Look at now. Yes, the child grind her teeth every time. Do you know that grinding teeth is as a result of yeast overload? It can be, it's not just about yeast overload, but on many occasions, it's as a result of microbial overload. it can present as teeth grinding. So, like I said, the child still have to do an assessment. Oh, your account is private. I wanted to follow you. Yeah. So I don't know. It might sound a bit far fetched for some parents, but please, it's going to cut your journey short. Have assessment done, and please, if you join a class like this, it will help you to cover a whole lot of areas without having to run helter skelter. This is like bringing everything together: food, nutrition, processing, public health, everything. I am putting them together to give to you. So I would J and J special needs, you have been like a partner for a while. You are always here when I call. So people like this, you should actually take advantage of things like this and, equip yourself, because I know you're doing a great job with these children. So please like the show, or is it the show? Like the program, share it to people. We have it recorded on YouTube. If you're going to want a replay, you can watch it on the YouTube again, and you can always reach out. It's been a wonderful evening. Thank you so very much. I am still very much open to your question, and you can always reach out to us. Brain Foods is always willing to help. Thank you, J&J Special Needs Services. You have been a wonderful fan for a long time. Please, plane 194. Thank you. Today you are my number one fan. That's a big one. Let me give you a shout out. You're my number one fan. Thanks, everyone. In the absence of questions, Sylvia, Temilade, Junior Nza. Sorry, it's not fully out. J&J Special Services. Sylvia. Yes, thank you, everyone. We might have to call it an evening. If you have not, just click the like button, redirect people to the page, comment, and save it. Thank you. Have a lovely evening.